Hello learners, welcome to my channel Shraddha's Physics. This is my first lecture to the quantum mechanics. This is from core 11 part of the CBCS syllabus. Before going to the topic, that is the introduction to the quantum mechanics, let us first start with the failure of the classical mechanics that leads to the development of the new concept of the quantum mechanics. So let us start with the classical mechanics. This is just a simple idea. So basically we know that this classical mechanics is based on the Newton's laws of motion, or we can simply say that in classical mechanics the father of classical mechanics is the Newton. He is the father of classical mechanics, and in classical mechanics we basically deal with the laws of motion, that is the laws of inertia, laws of force and the laws of action and reaction, etc. And in classical mechanics, if we want to determine the state of the system, at any instant, so if you want to know the state of the system at any instant, then you will determine the quantities like position, the velocity, its momentum or its acceleration, etc. These quantities, acceleration, etc. But when we can say that when this velocity of the body is very less than the velocity of the light, in this case only the classical mechanics can determine the state of the system. But when this velocity of the body is comparable with the velocity of the light, in that case the classical mechanics fail. That is for the non-relativistic case. Only for the non-relativistic case, the classical mechanics we can determine the state of the system. That is the classical mechanics, it provides the correct explanation for the behavior of the macroscopic system. Macroscopic system means basically the large mass we can say, and the large dimension. But in case of the microscopic system, if we will consider the microscopic system, in that case, in microscopic system, it fails because of the uncertainty principle. Because the uncertainty principle states that the position and the momentum, the change in position and the change in linear momentum simultaneously cannot be determined. That is, the measurement of one quantity introduce the uncertainty into another. If you can determine the position of a particle, then at the same time you cannot determine the change in momentum of that body or that particle. That is, the measurement of one quantity introduce the uncertainty into other. So the classical mechanics, which assume both the quantities to have the definite values at all instant, is not valid for the atomic system or for the microscopic system. So what are the failures of the classical mechanics? It cannot explain for the microscopic system. It cannot explain, or we can say that it cannot be, this classical concept cannot be applied to the atomic phenomena. Atomic phenomena is same as the microscopic phenomena. And the second one is, in case of classical mechanics, we know an atom consists of a heavy positive nucleus at the center, and the electrons are the negatively charged and they are revolving around the nucleus in a circular orbit. So according to this classical physics, the negative charged electron, it will experiences an attractive electrostatic force due to this positive charged nucleus. And also the electromagnetic waves, or you can say that according to electromagnetic theory, an accelerated charge, that is this electron, when revolve around this nucleus, it will continuously radiate energy, and this energy, it is in the form of electromagnetic energy or the electromagnetic waves. When this electron, it will revolve around this nucleus, it will continuously emit the radiation in the form of the electromagnetic waves. That is, this energy of the electron, it should decreases continuously, and it should come closer until it collapses with this nucleus. Okay, so this shows that the instability of the atom. So this classical mechanism, it failed to explain the stability of the atom. So here you can say that the second one is, it leads to the instability of the atom, or you can say that the stability of the atom cannot be explained by the classical mechanism. The stability of the atom cannot be explained in the classical mechanics or the classical phenomena. And also in modern physics, you have already studied that the spectrum of hydrogen atom, the spectrum of hydrogen atom cannot be explained in the classical mechanics. And also the spectrum of black body, could not explain in classical phenomena. And the classical mechanics, it also failed to explain the photoelectric effect, the Compton effect, Raman effect, etc. Compton effect, Raman effect, etc. So these are basically the failure of the classical mechanics. So in short, we can say that the classical mechanics, it provides the correct explanation for the behavior of the macroscopic system only. But in atomic system, the classical mechanics, it fails to explain the microscopic system of the particles like the electron, because of the uncertainty principle. Because according to the uncertainty principle, the position and the momentum of the particle cannot be measured accurately at the same time. The measurement of one quantity, it introduces the uncertainty into the other. So the classical mechanics, which assume both the quantities to have the definite values at all instant, it is not valid for the atomic system or the microscopic system. Now let us come to our topic, that is introduction to the quantum mechanics. This failure of the classical mechanics leads to introduce the new phenomena like the quantum mechanics, which clearly explain about the microscopic system, or you can say that according to de Broglie theory or the de Broglie theory, according to de Broglie theory, a material particle is associated with a wave. A material particle, just try to write with me, a material particle is associated with a wave. So a mathematical reformation using this wave function psi associated with the matter wave is needed. This mathematical formation, it was developed by Schrödinger. In 1926. He describes the amplitude of the matter waves by a complex quantity, that is psi of x, y, z. These are the space coordinate, and t. This is known as the wave function. Or the state of the system under observation, or this is known as the state of the system or observation. State of the system under observation. So Schrödinger, he is known as the father of quantum mechanics, as Newton is known as the father of classical mechanics. Similarly, Schrödinger, he is known as the father of quantum mechanics, who developed the mathematical formation of this wave function psi. This wave function, it describes the particular dynamical system under observation. Dynamical system means when the system is under motion. In that case also, we can determine the state of the system. Now let us see the concept of generalized wave packet. Concept of generalized wave packet. I'll tell you what is wave packet. We have already discussed it in the modern physics. Concept of generalized wave packet. Let me tell you one thing. According to de Broglie, a matter has dual characteristic. One is particle characteristic and another one is the wave characteristic. So a particle, when we will consider a particle is nothing but it consists of a number of waves, or this is known as the wave packet. Simply, in case of electromagnetic wave, here the particle nature is, here we can consider that the particle is the photon and simply wave is the electromagnetic wave. So let us come to our topic. According to de Broglie equation, according to de Broglie or the de Broglie equation, a particle can be considered equivalent to a group of wave, or this group of wave is nothing but your wave packet. This group of wave is also known as wave packet. So as per the general wave equation, general wave equation or wave mechanics, a wave can be represented by suppose y, here I am writing y equal to a exponential iota kx minus omega into t. This is your plane wave equation. You must be acquainted with this. Y equal to a into exponential ikx minus omega t, where a equal to this capital A, it represents the amplitude of the particle or the wave amplitude of the particle, and k equal to, this k is the wave vector and this is equal to 2 pi by lambda. This is the wave vector, and here lambda is known as the wavelength. And also omega equal to 2 pi into nu. Here nu equal to the frequency. Nu is the frequency of the wave. So a particle can be represented by a group of waves, my wave function psi. So here if I will consider y to be a particle, that is a exponential ikx minus omega t, this represents a single wave. If I will consider y equal to a exponential ikx minus omega t to be a single wave, or this is the plane wave equation. If I will consider this y equal to a exponential ikx minus omega t, this is a single wave equation, then the wave packet, it means that the combination of some waves of this will lead to a wave function psi. So this psi can be written as psi will be equal to sum over k into this amplitude. This is the function of k into exponential ikx minus omega t. This psi represents a particle, or this particle can be considered as the group of waves, or we can say that this is a combination of more than one waves. So this summation here represents the number of waves, or the collection of the waves are here. This represents the particle. So generalizing this equation, a particle can be represented by a wave function that is, this psi is the function of x and t. This is in one dimensional. This is equal to the integration over this amplitude a of k into exponential iota kx minus omega t whole into decay. This is the representation of a particle. This iota here, this is nothing but iota equal to root over of minus 1. So in the next class we will see the time dependent Schrodinger equation in one dimension as well as in the three dimension, and in the next class again we will see the time independent Schrodinger equation and so on. So this is just an introduction to the quantum mechanics, how we switch from the classical to the quantum. So basically one more thing is that this Heisenberg uncertainty principle, it leads we can say that it creates a channel between classical to the quantum. Because suppose let us consider in microscopic case, you know the position and the momentum of a particle, the change in position and the change in linear momentum of a particle at the same time in case of your microscopic system. Then if you can calculate the position and the change in linear momentum accurately, you can calculate the position and the linear momentum. If you can calculate accurately, then there will be no need to develop the quantum mechanics. Okay. Though you cannot determine the simultaneously the position and the linear momentum of a particle simultaneously, so there need to develop the new concept or the new phenomenon, that is the quantum mechanics. So we can say that this Heisenberg uncertainty principle, it creates a channel to link the classical mechanics to the quantum mechanics. So this is all for today. Thank you.